Today I am discussing about general method of teaching, uh, computer-aided instruction. Computer-aided instruction include the use of the computer to teach the academic skills and promote communication and language development and skills. It's computer modeling and computer tutors. Computer-based instruction, common categories of CBI, tutorial, simulation, problem solving, advantage, limitation of CBI, new research, degree, large group papers, related exam, story, tutorial, simulation. Okay, problem solving. Problem solving software is the specific problem solving skills and strategies. Types of purpose and goals in conduct, typical daily practice. Purpose, goals, tutorial, present new content, review knowledge to acquire the basic facts in concept, computer and at program. Drill and practice, reinforce and practice launch concept to help fix facts and concept in the learning mind. Complete order program, simulation, present and manipulate the model to integrate skills and knowledge. The primary learner games provide a competitive situation to provide fun in learning. Primary learner problem solving task oriented to acquire knowledge and insight about content and process. Electronic portfolio. Electronic portfolio, also known as the e-portfolio or digital portfolio, is a collection of electronic evidence assembled and managed by the user, usually on the web. The e-portfolio can be seen as the type of learning record that provides the actual evidence of achievement. Learning records are closely related to the learning plan and emerging tool that is being used to manage learning by individual teams and communities of interest and organizations. Today, electronic portfolios are popular in schools, higher education, continuing professional development, and application of professional advertisement traffic groups. Types of e-portfolio developing the working record of things that the owners has tied to learners' outcomes, rubrics, reflective learnings, and includes the personal reflection to the development representation of the showcase, so the owners' achievement in the relation to particular work and development goals and is therefore selected. E-learning. E-learning also referred to as the online and electronic learning in the acquisition knowledge that takes place through the electronic technologies and media. In simple language, e-learning defined as learning that is enabled electronically. Typically, e-learning conducted on the internet, where the students can access their learning materials online at any place and time. E-learning most often takes place in the form of the online courses, online degrees, online programs. Advantage or benefits of e-learning: it is flexible, where it is the time, place are taken into consideration. E-learning enhances the efficacy of knowledge and qualification of ease of access to a huge amount of information. It is able to provide opportunities for a relation between learners by the use of this discussion forums. E-learning is a cost-effective in the sense of that there is no need for the students or learners to travel. It is also cost-effective in the sense that it offers opportunities for learning a maximum number of learners with no need of buildings. Uh, E-learning always takes into the consideration in the individual learners and differences. Some learners are, for instance, prefer to concentrate on certain parts of the course, while others are prefer to review the entire course. E-learning helps the compensate for scarcities of academic staffs, including the instructors or teachers, as well as the facilitators, lab technician, etc. The use of e-learning allows the self-placing. For instance, the asynchronous way permits its students to study at his or her own pace and speed, whether slow or quick. Disadvantage of e-learning method as a method of education takes place. Learners undergo contemplation, the action of looking thoughtfully, something have been a long time, remoteness, as well as the lack of interaction, relation, if there is required a very strong motivation and the management skills in order to reduce the effects. With respect to the clarification of explanation and the interpretation of e-learning methods may be less effective and that traditional methods of learning. The learning process is much easier face-to-face with the instructor or teachers. When it comes to improvement of learners' communication skills, e-learning may have a negative effect. True, learners might have an excellent academic knowledge. They may not possess the needed skills to deliver their acquired knowledge to others. Since the test and the assessment in the e-learning are frequently supervised by proxy, the agency and functions of power to person authorized to act as the deputy or student substitute for another. It may be difficult, if not impossible, to control or regulate activities such as cheating. E-learning may be also subject to piracy and plagiarism and cheating, educate selection skills and inappropriate use of the copy and paste. E-learning may negatively impact on socialization skills and limit the role and structure as a director of the educational process. Not all the disciplines of effectively use of e-learning in the education. For instance, scientific field that require hands-on practical experience may be more difficult to study through the e-learning. Researchers have argued that e-learning is more appropriate in the social science and humanities and that fields such as the medical science and engineering where there is to develop practical skills. Uh, E-learning may also lead to or heavy use of some upside. This may be bring about unanticipated cost, both time and the money. Uh, Concept mapping. Concept mapping is the diagram of graphical tool that visually represent the relationship between the concept and idea. Most of the concept maps depicts ideas and as boxes and circles, nodes which are structured hierarchically and connected to lines are also called arcs. And these lines are labeled with the link with words and the process to help explain the connection between the concept. Key features of concept map. Concept maps are also referred to as the conceptual diagram. Concepts are defined as the perceived regularities or pattern to events and objects or records or events or object designated by the level and depicted as the shapes in the diagram. Uh, linking words or phrase are located at the lines of connecting object in concept map, and these words desirable in relationship between the two concepts. They are also concise as the possible and typically maintain the above examples and include the cause, includes the and requires. Propositional structure. Proposition are meaningful statements made up to two or more concepts connected with the linking words. These statements are also known as the semantic units or units of the meaning. Concept or propositions are the foundation of the creation of knowledge in the domain. The essentially concept map visually conveys a set of the proposition about the certain topics. A hierarchical structure are key element of the concept map. It is the hierarchical structure. The most general and inclusive concepts are positional at the top of the concept map with that of the more specific and inclusive concept arranged hierarchically below. As a concept of map is designed to read from top to bottom. Focus question define that issues and problem that concept map need to solve. Developing the focus question allows you to design with a context in your mind and thus helps guide and maintain the direction of your concept map. Within the hierarchical structure, the focus questions should be at the very top of the concept map and serve as a reference point. Parking lot be before the beginning your concept map, it can be helpful to come up with the list of identifying the key concept map needed to the included. Establish the rank of order list of from that most of general concept to the most specific. The list is referred to as the parking a lot of you can will move the items into the maps as you figure out where they fit in. Crosslink are the relationship between the concept in the different domains of the concept maps, allowing you to visualize how the ideas with these different domains are connected. Both the crosslinks and the hierarchical structures facilitate creative thinking, and these crosslinks often indicates the moments of creativity. Concept mapping offer the benefits for the learning process, facilitates the comprehension with its visual format, synthesize the information by integrating a new and old concept to better grasp the big picture, encourage the brainstorming and high-level thinking, foster discovery of new concepts and their connections, provides clear communication of complex ideas, promotes the collaborative learning, spark creativity, snapshots your current knowledge to assess understanding, identifies areas that need further knowledge or review. Constructivism learning theory and basic constructivism knowledge will share between the teacher and teachers and shared authority. Teacher role in the facilitator guide and groups consist of small number of heterogeneous students. Constructive theory is learning is grounded in the educational philosophy. Constructivist process is the knowledge can store memory and track and learning. Important learning happen inside an individual constructive perspective views of the learning. Types of constructivism are less rational constructivism, radical constructivism, dialectical constructivism. Pedagogical goals in constructivist learning to provide the experience with the knowledge construction process, provide experience and understanding solution for multiple perspective evaluation, methodology solution to emulate the fixed learning in realistic context, authentic task to encourage the ownership of voice in learning process, student-centered learning, to emulate learning of social experience, collaboration, to encourage the use of multiple modes of representation, video, audio, text, to encourage the answer and the knowledge construction process, reflection, metacognition. Benefits of constructivism: children learn more and enjoy learn more when they are actively involved rather than passive. Educational work based with the concentrated thinking and understanding order and broad. Constructivism promotes the social and the communication skill by creating a classroom environment that emphasizes the collaboration and the exchange ideas. Students learn more and enjoy learning more when they are actively involved rather than passive listener. Educational works based when the concentrate on the thinking and understanding rather than on rote memorization. Constructivism concentrates on learning how to think and understand. Constructivist learning is transferable in constructive classroom. Students create organizing principles that they can take with them into other learning settings. By grounding learning activities in an authentic, real-world context, constructivist stimulates and engage students in the constructivist classroom learn to question things and apply their natural curiosity to the world. Constructivism promotes the social and communication skills by creating a classroom environment and that emphasizes the collaboration and exchange of ideas. Constructivism gives the students ownership of what they learn, since learning is based on the students' questions and exploration. Often the students have had in designing the assessment as well. A different between the rational and constructivist class, a traditional classroom fixed curriculum materials are primary textbook and workbook, learning based and repetition. Students are recipients of knowledge, either teacher disseminate information to student, teacher are the directive rooted in authority. students work alone. The knowledge is seen in the insight that is inserted assessment in through the testing correct answer. Constructive classroom material include primary source and material, manipulative materials, learning interactive building, and that of students already knows. Teacher role is interactive rooted in negotiation, power and control in the constructive classroom are shared. Constructive use the process approach. A student is in dynamics even ever in changing without experience. Students work primarily in group. It is the student center. The teacher in the constructive classroom is a researcher, organization, and the management of constructive classrooms are democratic. Constructive classroom, traditional classroom, constructive classroom strength primarily works alone. Curriculum presented and part of the whole with the emphasis and basic skills. Bottom up, strict adhere to fixed curriculum is the highly valued curricular activities is heavily on the textbook data manipulate materials. Students are viewed on the blank slates onto the which the information is by the teacher generally behave in didactic manners and disseminating information to the students. Teacher seeks the correct answer to the validate students' lesson. Assessment of students' learning is viewed as the separate from the teaching and occurs Construct classroom students primarily work groups. Curriculum is the presented whole two part with the emphasis on the big concept top-down. Pursuit of the students' questions is highly valued. Curricular activities rely heavily on primary success. Students are viewed as thinkers with emerging theories about the world. Teachers generally behave in an interactive manner and mediating in the environment for students. Teachers seek the students' points of view in order to understand students' learning for use in the subsequent conception, assessment of students' learning interwoven with teaching and occur through the teacher's observation in students at work and through. Principle of contextualism, it takes time to learn. Learning is an active process in which the learners use sensory input and construct the meaning of it. And people learn to learn in as they and the curricular action and constructing meaning is mental. Learning is the social activity. Learning involves the language, uh, Language learning is contextual. One needs knowledge to learn. Learning is not a passive acceptance of the knowledge which exists out there. Motivation is key competition in learning. Proponents of the constructivism, John Dewey, Vygotsky, and Brunner, Piaget how to apply encourage and support the student initiative and autonomy try to use raw data and primary source in the additional to manipulative interactive and physical materials create thinking and problem solving environment. I use the coaching and supporting to build students understanding frame tasks using the process such as classifying analyzing predicting and creating. Encourage the communication between the teacher and the students and also between the students. Encourage the students critical thinking and inquiry and asking them thoughtful, open-ended questions and encourage them to ask questions to each other. Provide the enough time for students to construct their own meaning and learning something new. Lecture 5%, reading 10%, audio visual 20%, demonstration 30%, discussion group 50%, practice by doing 75%. This allows immediate use of the learning is 90%. A constraint perspective is learning and teaching, which is increasingly influential today, grounded in the research for the Piaget's Bruno, Dewey, and Vygotsky. Constructivist believes that the students should not be given stripped down, simplified problems and basic skills drills, but instead should deal with the complex issues, situation and fuzzy structures problems. Merits of constructivism and this theory advocates the construction of knowledge by students rather than direct transmission of knowledge knowledge by the teacher. It is student-centered. It inter interrelation between teacher and student for construct knowledge. It encourages creativity, critical thinking, logical reasoning, and encourage thus inculcating scientific attitude. The role of teacher is in enhancing knowledge construction by students. It supports positive learning environment. It encourages cooperation and team spirit. Demerits, all the students may not be able to master knowledge. Teachers should be trained more time and effort needed construct knowledge in insufficient to provide adequate opportunity for explore, inquiry, and reconstruct knowledge. No any well-defined mechanism for construction of knowledge incompatible for evaluation system. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your patience. That is now. Bye bye. See you again.